Hi everyone, just checking in. Can everybody hear me? Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, and we'll be getting started in just a few minutes. Awesome. Thank you, Mermaid Moxie. All right, so thank you everyone for joining me for this remote viewing live stream. We'll be exploring a few targets, teaching you what it feels like to remote view and how to move through a target. The method we use here is SRV, scientific remote viewing. So this is, it's going to be a quick run through. The SRV process is quite structured, but just because of time, I'll be kind of giving you a modified version of it that serves today's purposes. Okay, so make sure you're in a comfortable position, preferably with your back straight. Grab a piece of paper and a pen because you're going to need to write through your perceptions. And then, yeah, we'll get started. And I will answer questions towards the end of this. As we're moving through, if you have any active questions about remote viewing, about the actual target that you're exploring, feel free to, chat it out and I'll respond to it. However, make sure that you're staying grounded. You're here to practice remote viewing. This is a really, really great opportunity. And as a collective, we're all gathered here, we're amplifying the energy, and let's make sure to honor that and keep distractions at a minimum. Okay, audio too low. I'll try and speak up. I'm usually quite soft spoken, but let's see if we can fix that in the back end. And just make sure you're ramping up your volume on the inside, on your own device. You good? Okay. All right, so let's get started. Before we do that, let's see what this. Oh, okay. Here, I'll just go ahead and lift that. Is this better? Let me know if this is a little bit better. As soon as I get confirmation, we'll get started. Yay, awesome. All right, let's get started. So, uh, so remote viewing. The best way to begin with remote viewing is to calm your mind, calm your senses, so that the information can flow through easier. The remote viewing data, it comes in the same way as your imagination, your normal thoughts. So when you meditate and you calm your thoughts, the data that comes through is cleaner, and you're able to distinguish it a lot better from your imagination. So have a nice seat, and we're going to start with the Farsight meditation method. And the first part of this, I'm going to modify this a little bit, but we always start with a face massage, a body massage. So start with massaging your face, down your head, and then center the energy back to your heart. This is just rerouting the energy so that it comes back to your heart. And your heart does a very, very good job at amplifying the chi and spreading it throughout your body. So once you're done with your head, if you are a male, start with massaging your right hand up your arm down to your heart. If you are a female, start with the left. The left always signifies the feminine, and the right always signifies the masculine, down to your heart. And then move on to the opposite, down to your heart. And then again, if you're a man, if you're a male, start with your right foot up your right leg, all the way up. Be gentle when you get to your abdominal area. And if you are a female, start with your left, all the way up, up, up to your heart. Then the other leg. All right. Now we're going to do a quick breath work just to kind of balance the left and right hemispheres of your brain. So you're going to just, however you want to do it, I'm not really picky about this, but you're going to plug Starting with your right nostril, breathe out, then in, then plug your left, breathe out, then in. And we're just going to do this a few times. You're going to really be able to tell the difference once we're done. Your brain is going to feel a lot calmer, a lot balanced, and this is all part of priming your mind for the remote viewing process. So let's get started. Breathe out and in, out, then in. Just focus on the breath. Focus on the sensation of the breath moving up the nostril to your lungs and back out. If your mind wanders, just bring it back to the present moment. You can deepen your breath, fill in your lungs, and just listen to the ocean-like sounds that your breath makes when it moves into your lungs and out. Okay, just a few more breaths. Now wind it down to your last breath. And you want to finish it off by exhaling using your left nostril. Okay. All right. Good job, everyone. Okay, so the last part of the prep work before you start remote viewing, this is a meditation. So usually we use a mantra. This is Shanim Mana. However, today I'm going to guide you through a quick meditation just to do like a quick rapid calming of your mind. So again, go ahead and find a comfortable seat. Close your eyes. Now let your spine rise tall like the trunk of a tree, and let your shoulders melt like soft leaves. Close your eyes and begin to bring your awareness to your breath. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Now start to imagine a gentle breeze moving through your mind. This breeze clears away the clutter, any thoughts, any worries, any expectations. It doesn't fight with them, it simply brushes them aside with love. You don't need to do anything, just allow. With each breath, feel your mind become lighter, more still, and more open. Now, thoughts may still pass by, and that's okay. Just gently return to the breath, like waves returning to the shore. Now, bring your awareness to the center of your forehead, the space that we call the third eye, the intuitive center. Imagine a soft light beginning to glow there. It may be violet, maybe indigo, or clear like crystal. Let it pulse gently with your breath. Start to imagine that light expanding, softly illuminating your inner world. You are stepping into the observer space, the part of you that witnesses without judgment, the part of you that can feel beyond time, see beyond distance, and know without words. You are simply present, aware, and open. Now imagine a gentle stream of knowing flowing towards you. You don't have to reach for it, just allow it to move through you. You're like a clear pool, still and reflective. Anything that enters your awareness is welcome. It may come as a sensation, an image, a knowing, a sound. Let it arrive however it chooses. Now take a final deep breath in. Exhale slowly. Feel the calm. Feel your awareness sharpening like a tuning fork. When you're ready, open your eyes gently and let's begin the session. All right. So just make sure that you're returning to your breath, you're centering your mind. If your mind wanders, that's okay. Just keep taking those deep breaths and let's get started. Okay, so like I said before, actually, we're gonna put up a Farsight SRV affirmation. This is just to help you ground in even further. So we're gonna read that together. All right. So read this with me. I am a spiritual being. Because I am a spiritual being, I am able to perceive beyond all boundaries of time and space. My consciousness is ever present with all that is, with all that ever was, and with all that ever will be. It is in my nature as a human to be able to perceive and thus to know all there is to know, to further my own personal growth and to assist others in their growth. I direct my attention to a chosen point of existence. I observe what is there. I study it carefully. I record what I find. Now let that sink in. This is an affirmation on who you are and what you are capable of. You don't want to fight or invite doubts as to whether or not you can do this. You need to embody that you can do this. You are a conscious being. You are a spiritual being. This is within the realm. This is your birthright. Okay, now let's get started. So SRV is, you can break it into a few parts. The first part is called these are a set of numbers, coordinates. So when I tell people coordinates, they usually ask, is this like an actual coordinate to the target? No, this is just a set of 8 numbers that is designed to pull your conscious mind so that the subconscious information can flow through. This is also part of our warm-up. So let's take the numbers, and we're going to use this for the actual target for today. We're going to use 20014383. Let's just use that. So when we get started, I'm just going to call out these numbers to you. I'm going to call them like 20014383. Your focus should just be on the numbers, and then you're going to receive information that'll surpass your conscious mind. Your conscious mind always tries to control the session. It always wants to be in control. So it kicks in with imagination, with prompts. It tries to figure out what the target is. This is one of the most difficult challenges with remote viewing, is defeating your mind, defeating the man-made data that comes through. Okay, so we meditate, we calm our mind, and then we use tools like the target coordinates to let the data come through. Okay, now the next part that's really, really important, we call these the idiograms. So if you're not new to Farsight and our training, this is going to be really familiar to you. We have idiograms, which are simple sketches that represent what may be on the actual target. So we have this could represent land. This could represent a mountain. For structure, there's a few. There's this, and what am I missing? Mm. And that, okay? Imagine there's more of a space between these two, okay? But it's just a right angle, whether it's at the bottom or at the top. We have this ideogram that represents subject. This ideogram represents water. This represents energetics. Okay? And we have a few more, and these are the movement ideograms. So, as you can see, the middle movement ideogram looks just like land. This is where probing comes in, where you start making contact with the target and feeling into this ideograms. What does it feel like? So, like I said, this is going to be like a shortened version of SRV. SRV is very structured, and this structure allows us to hit the target time and time again. Okay, so if you'd like a full run through, you would have to reach out to me or visit farsightprime.com and like go through our structural or our instructional segment, so you can see like how the full process. But for today's run through, these are just the basic ideograms. Now, using your pen and paper, I'm just going to call out these ideograms to you, and you can just do your best to replicate them quickly. Let me know when you're ready. And I'm looking at the chat, so feel free to interact with me in this way, okay? Once I start guiding you through one of the targets, just do your best to communicate with me what you're getting. This helps me know that we're on the right track, that we're moving through this together. All right, a few of you said you're ready. I'm just gonna go ahead and get started, okay? So I'll call out the ideogram, just sketch it out, okay? Just look at these right now. Let these basic shapes just sink into your mind, and let's get started. All right. Land, 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 mountain, 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 structure, 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 subject, 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 water, 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 energetics, 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 movement, movement, movement. I'll call it a little faster. Land, water, structure, mountain, subject, energetics, movement, structure, mountain, land, water, mountain, structure, energetics, energetics, energetics. Okay, hopefully you kept up with me. So again, the purpose of these ideograms is to provide a silhouette of what's in the actual target. So when paired with this, when I'm doing my session, I'll just think of these numbers. The ideogram is supposed to fly out really quickly. Not a second should pass between the last digit and the ideogram coming out. This ensures that your mind is staying out of it, okay? It's supposed to be an automatic process. So this line right here, this is like what basically land would look like. You can see mountain. It's important to realize that the ideogram is telling you there's something here that's shaped like this, not that this is the actual object here. So as you know, this can be a mountain, but this can also be like a bunch of structures that are peaked. So something like the Eiffel Tower. That's the exact same shape the Eiffel Tower is, right? So this would be more appropriate than this. A mountain ideogram would be more appropriate than a structure ideogram in this case. Here we have a subject. This is kind of like the bobblehead, you know. Water, wavy. Water comes in many states, but this is telling you that there is something here that's shaped like this, or that there's possibly water in the target. Energetics. So now energetics can come in many forms. It can be heat, it can be wind type energetics, explosive. There's lots of forms, but this is something that is producing energy, and this is something that you are going to feel within yourself. Movement, again, it could be anything that is moving. It could be something like a plane or a bullet or wind or somebody running. This is what movement will represent, will come out as your subconscious communicating to your conscious that there is something here that looks like this. I hope this makes sense. Again, this is a quick run through. So now I'm going to focus in. I'm looking at a target. I'm just going to call out the coordinates, and let's do 5 ideograms, okay? I'll call out the coordinate, and again, just your mind is on the numbers. That's all you need to think about. Focus on the numbers. The ideogram, just trust. Surrender and trust. It'll come out, okay? No overthinking. That will kill your session. All right. Let's get started. So for this first target, I'm looking at it, I'm making contact with it. Don't try to figure it out, just trust the process. Take a deep breath in, breathe out, feel your mind clearing. Okay. Now, let's get started. Target coordinates 2, 0, 0, 1, 4, 3, 8, 3. And just right next to the last number, let one of these ideograms come out. Let's do it again. Target coordinates. And just to reiterate, it'll look something like this. And this is purely just an example. I'm even going to use different numbers. It'll be something like 1, 0, 0, 8, 9, 2, 0. Okay? Did you see how quickly that came out? That is what you will be replicating. Okay, let's do the second ideogram. This is just giving you a basis of what's at the target, and then we're going to move into the actual session. And the point is to train your mind on these subtle energies and how the data comes across. And this is something just like going to the gym. At first you're weak, but you keep growing the muscle. Your psychic muscle also needs to be grown in this manner through practice. Okay, target coordinates 2, 0, 0, 1, 4, 3, 8, 3. Let the ideogram come out. Again, 2, 0, 0, 1, 4, 3, 8, 3. Again, 2, 0, 0, 1, 4, 3, 8, 3. One more time, last time. 2, 0, 0, 1, 4, 3, 8, 3. So just look at the ideograms that you have, and if you don't mind, type into the chat what ideograms you received, and then we're just going to start moving through the session. Okay, I'm going to wait for your communication to come through. Okay. Looks good. So we have someone said structure, mountain energetic subject. It's a structure, person structure, mountain looking things. Good. And I think that's a subject ideogram. All right. Perfect. Good job. So now choose one of these ideograms and you're going to press your pen down on it. Just make contact with it and lightly press. And as you're doing this, you're just imagining yourself sinking deeper into the target. And also, as you're doing this, you want to be the watcher here. Just pay attention, okay, to the sensations that come to you. So let's go ahead and probe the land. Is there land here? And note the shape of the land. Is it flat? Is it irregular? Does it look natural or man-made? Just take note and write down your perceptions. And just focus on what I'm asking of you. So just focusing on the land. Is it level or irregular, natural or man-made? And then write down your perceptions. And if you could, also write down the perceptions and send them to me so I can keep track. Now let's move on. Now probe for water, same thing, pressing your pen down on this and just watching. Is there any water here? You know what water feels like. It is this memory that you're calling upon right now. Is there any water? You could reach in with your mental mind and move your hand as so. Do you feel like there's any sensation that follows your fingers? If you feel like you have water, probe deeper, expand yourself within and ask, is this just some water or extensive water? Is it extensive water? And then write down your perceptions. If you notice colors or textures, just write that down as well. All right. Now let's move on to structures. Are there any structures here? You know what structures feel like. Just keep pressing down on your ideogram and watching. It'll take some practice for you to know exactly what perceptions feel like, what remote viewing comes through. So some people feel it within their body. You might be clairvoyant and you might see the perception outside of yourself. You might just have a knowing. It's really important to honor how you perceive and grow this. With time, you can learn to expand and extend your other senses. Just feel. Are there any structures here? Keep expanding your perception, your consciousness within this space. Are there one or multiple structures? Ask yourself, does this feel like a city? You know what a city feels like. Is there a dominant structure here? Just focus on the structures for now. What colors are the structures? Is there a dominant color that you perceive as you look at the structures? Okay, very good. All right. Now, see if you can sense any subjects here. Are there any subjects? Are they inside or outside the structures? Are they moving around? Zoom out and look at the general environment as well. Would you say that this environment is natural or urban? Maybe a mix? You're doing great. See if you can feel, is there any foliage here? Plant life? Just gonna delete this part right here because it's in my face. But still go on sensing, is there any foliage here? Do you feel any plant life? And then ask yourself, Is this foliage, is there just some? Is there low level foliage or is it extensive foliage? All right. Okay, so let's move on to the flash sketch segment of this. So what you're going to do is wherever you have space on your page, hopefully enough space so you can um, do a sketch of this, you're going to write zoom out / flash sketch, put a dot. You're going to press down on the dot, clear your mind, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, close your eyes, angle your head 45 degrees. The image should plaster itself right here, okay? And then go ahead and draw what you see, and you can do this as many times as you like. Close your eyes, press your pen down on the dot, angle your head 45 degrees, okay? So there's a few different ways to do the flash sketch. Maybe that's not comfortable to you and you just want to press down on the dot and kind of just watch, but go ahead and I'm asking you to like do a zoomed out version of what you're seeing. Quickly jot it down. Whatever shapes you're seeing, honor that. If you want to do like stick figures, that's completely fine. Well, I wish I could see your sketches, but I'm just gonna have to do with your descriptions. Okay, so there's a lot of good data here. So let's do a quick exercise. Towards the edges of where you've drawn, so if you have your drawing, move out a little bit to the side. Imagine yourself on the ground. Probe into that ground and ask yourself, what's the texture of this ground here, of this surface? Is it hard, soft, semi-hard, semi-soft, wet, or mushy? Hard, soft, semi-hard, hard, soft, semi-hard, semi-soft, wet, or mushy. Honor your perception, write it down, and then let me know once you're done so we can do a target reveal for this first target that we have here. All right. Good. And thank you everyone for your participation. All right, just a few more seconds to have everybody finish up what they're doing, and then we'll cue the first target. Okay. All right. Let's put it up on the screen. SpongeBob vibes. So that is what we call a deduction. With a deduction, it's something that is a little high level. We ask yourself, what is it about SpongeBob vibes that reminds me of this target? And then you write down those basic perceptions. Anyway, the target for this is Mont Saint Michel in France. So as you can see, This is a structure, a very, very large structure with a perimeter around it, and it is located in the middle of water. So if you had extensive water, good job. If you had any water, in fact, that is wonderful. You know, that you had your first taste of what it feels like to perceive extrasensory. And then we have the structures. As you can see, the dominant structure here is peaked, almost like a cathedral. Someone said stairs. Very, very good. I bet there is a shit ton of stairs here because this is just something that heads up. There is also some foliage. I believe somebody said tan colors. Let me go back. Gray, beige, good job, Matthew. Mermaid Moxie, tan. Very, very good. Monica Inga, also really good. You said not many people, but there were small plants. See, that's really good. And then the final exercise was the probing the edges, the parameters of this target. And everybody was pretty right. If you said sand, mushy, rough, gravelly, you can see there is a path that runs out there. Semi-soft to hard, also good. A arroyo, drawing a triangle on top of a tall building. Fantastic. This is really, really good results. So you can see that the information does come through you. So if you're taking part in this, uh, this is this should be proof enough of what you can do. This should be proof enough that you are able to remote view. All right. Let's move on to our second target. Okay, now you kind of know you have a lay of the land here. You understand what's coming. So, oh, Pedro, not Pascal. No ground. Very good. I mean, that's still good because you're probably perceiving the edges of this where there is like a lot of water, extensive water. All right, so let's take a deep breath in, exhale. Let that last target fade into the distance. Okay? Again, be in the moment, surrender and trust to the process. Don't try to figure out what the target is. That's just going to activate your thinking mind. So we're gonna do the same thing with different coordinates because this is a completely different target. So the coordinates for this, let me just let this dry real quick. While I'm doing this, keep breathing, keep centering yourself. For this, we're going to do 9601 5533. Okay, deep breath in. If I were you, I would switch out the page just so that you're not mixing up data. So grab another piece of paper or, flip your book, whatever it is you're using. Okay, let's get started. Again, we're going to do 5 idiograms. This is just a good basis to tell you these are the basic shapes that are here. And idiograms are a very, very good, reliable form of data because your mind is out of it completely. This will tell you these are the shapes that are in the target, nothing more, okay? Okay, so target coordinates 9, 6, 0, 1, 5, 5, 3, 3. Let out the ideogram. Next. 9, 6, 0, 1, 5, 5, 3, 3. Again. 9, 6, 0, 1, 5, 5, 3, 3. Again. Is this the third time? I think it is. 9, 6, 0, 1, 5, 5, 3, 3. Actually, I think we only have one more. Let me know if I'm miscounting. Target coordinates 9, 6, 0, 1, 5, 5, 3, 3. All right. And then go ahead and type into the chat what ideograms you got. Okay. What is that? What's an O? What a subject? What is that? Okay, subject structure. Good, Jordan. Squiggly, subjectish. Good, Carl. Energetics. Person, energetics. Very good, Mermaid Moxie. Just get a few more. Energetic subject. Matthew Milias Gray, please. What is the 0? What's the O? Is that a subject? Structure. All right. Great. All right, let's get into it, okay? Picking one of the ideograms that you received, go ahead and same thing. Press down into it and just watch. The information will flow upwards to you, okay? So press down on it. And the first thing we're going to do again is just the land. Is there land, first of all? And is it level or irregular? Is it man-made or natural? Just go ahead and write down your perceptions. If you can communicate with me as well, I would appreciate it so I'm not floating, so I know I'm guiding you guys correctly. Um, there's some good teaching moments that can come up from your data. Good. Monica, very good job at writing low-level information. This is exactly what we want. When it comes to remote viewing, you want to describe, never to identify. When you identify something, that's where we run into what's called a deduction, something that is too high level, that is usually your mind is trying to interpret the data, so it comes up with this, a big word for it, and then we break that down when that happens. Okay? All right, now go ahead and probe for water again with the intention of looking for water. Probe into that and just watch. Is there any water? Again, you could use the little trick where you like reach in with your mind and do this and see, is there a substance that follows my fingers? Pedro, not Pascal. What about volcano crater moon vibe that makes you think of this target? Break it down. Is it about the color? Is it about the texture? Because as a whole, deductions are rarely correct. So do your best to release that deduction so that every time you're probing, you're not probing with an image already like pasted in your mind. Okay, let's go ahead and take a deep breath. This is focusing on the atmospherics here. What is the air like here? Is it natural? Does it smell of man-made smells? Are there any visible atmospherics like smoke or burning or cloud dynamics? Whatever you get, go ahead and write that down. So if you go on to farsight.org and under the training part, you're going to see that we use a list of vocabulary. Every time we're doing a session, we start with describing the base surface, describing the immediate environment. So this list just goes over everything. It goes over what does the base surface look like? Is there land, water, structure, subjects, mountains? Is there any non-surface structure? What's the environment like? What's the temperature like? So in this case right here, I'm just kind of like, because there's no time to go through everything. But when you do a, I'm being childish. When you do a session by yourself, make sure you're using the whole template. You're using the whole list of vocabulary so that you're not leaving anything out, okay? All right, now let's look at structures. All right, are there any structures here? Are there any structures that appear to be the dominant structures? Is this a city? And if you do pick up any dominant structures, just go ahead and focus in on them, and you can do a quick sketch of it. All right, keep going, probing into the structures. Are there any noticeable colors that you see? And you can also touch the structure. And let's actually do this. Just pause and look at me. Put your hands flat on your surface, whatever surface that may be. We're going to do what's called a hands grab. With this, you just use your hands to trace the shape of the structure that you're seeing. Okay? So sometimes you get a structure and you're not really sure what the shape is. This can really, really help you narrow that down. So you're going to take a deep breath in. When you breathe out, let your hands shoot up and just imagine that whatever structure you were perceiving is shrunken down to like something that you can hold. Then go ahead and feel around it. Try and establish what shape is it? Is it tall? Is it short? Is it angular? Is it curved? Things like this. And I personally, Carl, for your question, do you probe into different spots of the ideogram or the same spot? I personally move around as I go. I'll start here and I'll keep moving around. So each new probe, I'm just like progressing around like that. But there is no right or wrong way. If you want to just like do this, you might stab a hole into your paper, but personally, I keep going. All right. Also, take a view from the top. From a bird's eye view, looking down, are there any shapes that you're perceiving? Whatever it is. And the other thing is make sure you're going with your initial perception. The first thing that comes to you, okay? Always go with the first thing that comes to you. And if you're ever doubtful, that's even better. Go with that perception. Don't go with the perception that you have full on confidence with. That's usually like your mind will be confident at what it produces, but it'll doubt information that comes from the subconscious. Okay, let's keep moving on. Is there any foliage here? Is there some foliage? Extensive foliage? Now, probe into energetics, anything that might be producing a lot of energy. Like I said before, this could be heat or explosive. It could be wind type energetics, water type energetics, movement, kinetic, anything like that. You'll just, when you probe and watch, if there is energetics, you're going to really be able to pick them up in whatever form there is. All right, if there is energetics, do your best to keep probing into that and try to establish what kind of energetics is it. All right, now let's look into the general environment. Is this general environment, is it natural or urban? Maybe it's a harsh type natural or harsh man-made. Whatever it is that comes to you, write that down. Probe the ideogram and just look at the environment. Now, lastly, let's just probe for the temperature. With the focus on the temperature, you could even, the trick that I like to do, because there's a few of these probes that really mix me up. With this, I like to like hold out my hands in my mind. I don't do anything really physically when I'm doing remote viewing. I'll just hold out my hand and sense the palms to see what does the temperature feel like. Is it cold? Is it moderate? Or is it hot? Okay, all right. So same thing. Zoom out, flash sketch, put a dot. And you can look at your notes that you've written prior, because this really tells you what is in the target. And then taking a bird's eye view, you can move further away from the target. You can move to the top looking down. Go ahead and probe that dot. Close your eyes, angle your head up. Let the image just come to you. And sometimes you might get that it's just like a knowing. It's just like, oh, I just feel like drawing this. Go ahead and draw it. Especially if you doubt yourself. That's information that's coming through to you. Okay, I'll give you a few seconds to finish up your drawing. Whatever shapes that come to you, off to the side, you can write down colors/hues, put a dot next to it again. Just looking down, write down any colors and hues that you're noticing. Good job, everyone. And you can also ask yourself, how does it feel to be in this environment of the target, obviously? Just probing the ideogram, probing whatever is on your page and asking yourself, how does it feel to be here? And then just write down any perceptions that you're getting. Okay, few seconds, and then we're going to do the target reveal. All right, is everybody done? Brown, gray, some green. Okay, you don't like it. That's the two people that don't like it there, Monica and Matthew. I really do want to hear from you guys, so please don't hold back on taking part in the chat, okay? I did have 3 targets for today, but it looks like we only have time for the 2. But this will give us a little bit more time for me to answer some questions that you may have about remote viewing. Okay, acrid smell, uncomfortable, either sleeping or hiding. Okay, all right, without further ado, let's put up the second target. And the target for this is a nuclear power plant in Cattenom. I think this is also in France, and I accidentally picked 2 targets from France. I don't know why, okay? I only just barely noticed now that Cattenom is probably in France. Good job, everyone. A bunch of you, first of all, let's start with Matthew, Millais Gray, and your damn O. I don't know if you were saying it's actually an O or if you were saying it's a subject. Either way, these are circular nuclear power plants. So good job. And I had quite a few people say, starting with I think A Arroyo, smoke or thick clouds. Sulfury, good job. Even Pedro, not Pascal, if you asked yourself about the volcano crater moon vibe, you can see that this was probably because of the shape of these structures and the spewing of the smoke. This was really good. I am very impressed. Mermaid Moxie, acrid smell, uncomfortable, from above clouds or smog. Whew, you guys are good. So this is, first of all, I'm really, really like proud of you guys for going through this. This was such a quick run through with a deeper meditation. Your results, they just keep getting better. The perceptions, they just get more and more crystal, okay? But I'm really impressed with this. I probably couldn't have done it better myself. And the more you do remote viewing, the better you get. There's such a huge difference from anybody you look at, any of my students, from their first session to where they are right now. It's a skill that can be progressed very quickly. But as with everything, you need to put in time, you need to be dedicated. We're moving into a space where something like remote viewing, it's going to be a really, really important skill to have. And it does absolutely bleed over into other parts of your life. You just start to have a stronger intuition, to have stronger faith in yourself, to realize, if I can do this, what does this mean? What am I? Who am I? And that's a really important question because you're a conscious being. So, Carl, I will definitely start doing more of this. It is also a lot of fun for me to sit on the other side and watch these results. I'm a little giddy by like how good you guys were. Um, you can reach out to me personally at Intysam, SRV, at gmail.com if you would like one-on-one instructionals. Once in a while, I do group classes, but that I need quite a few people to commit to group classes, because it takes a lot of time and effort. Uh, so if you have any other questions for me, we have a few more minutes and I can take any questions. If you had any sort of intuition or perception that came through that you weren't quite sure how to interpret, I'd be happy to take those questions. I'll just sit here and wait. Unless there's nobody who has any questions, then I guess we can end it and I can give you back your few minutes. Oh, you had pain in your hands. So sometimes you because when you're remote viewing, you're actually there. It's not like you're just observing. Your consciousness is there. So sometimes some of these whatever is there can come through. Like in my early days, I remote viewed the D-Day in Normandy, and I was shaking the whole time. So sometimes you're going to, maybe you accidentally stuck your hand in one of these nuclear things, or maybe you were probing too hard and that kind of just made your hand uncomfortable. It could be anything like that. What do one-on-ones look like with you? So with this, all the classes are conducted towards Zoom. These are 2-hour long classes, and I personally guide you through the whole process. And this one-on-ones are they're the most potent classes because my focus is completely on you and your perceptions, and I'm pushing you along. It's like with anything. If you can try and learn a language by yourself, but if you have somebody there with you, they're not just giving you the correct way to pronounce things, or they're also making sure that you show up. And that's also a huge benefit of working directly with a teacher for any skill, not just this, is yeah, we hold you accountable to showing up and to doing the actual process. You're welcome, Matthew. You're welcome, Monica. All right, so if there isn't any more questions, oh, good, Matthew. The last your last comment is, yeah, Chernobyl accident. Yeah, that seems fitting for this target. Was it cadmium? Yes, it was, Adam. I hope you got it. Uh, so in regards to what I charge, I would be more comfortable sharing this with you through email. So go ahead and reach out to me directly. I would love to hear from you. Okay? So, everybody, good job. Really, really good job. Hope to see you again. I'll do my best to do this once a month, and I would love you if you also held me accountable to that, because it's really good to share this space with everyone. Thanks, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your night.